Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. Please remember to leave a comment, like, and share. And in the news this morning for January 29, 2024, JCF mourns the passing of DSP Deloy Johnson. The Jamaica Constabulary Force High Command said it regrets the passing of Deputy Superintendent of Police Deloy Johnson, who is suspected to have drowned in a river in Thatch Hill, Oteria, St. Anne on Sunday. Reports are that about 2:45 p.m., Johnson, along with another colleague, was playing dominoes in the area when he went into the water. It is reported that he got into difficulties while swimming and drowned. He was fished from the water and taken to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. The JCF High Command Welfare Department, Chaplaincy and Medical Services Branch have been offering support to the immediate family members and the staff at the National Police College of Jamaica. 2 cops among 7 suspects detained in relation to Oteria's killing. 2 members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and 5 civilians have been taken into custody in connection with the fatal shooting of a man at a mother's fast food restaurant on Main Street in Oterias on Saturday. The news was informed by a senior detective that the police constables and the civilians were picked up on Saturday as part of a major search for the suspects involved in the murder of 30-year-old Kajay Sims of Bartlestown, Gill St. Mary. Mr. Sims was gunned down inside the popular fast food restaurant during a brawl with a group of men. It was reported that about 2 a.m. Saturday, Mr. Sims and friends of his went inside the mother's restaurant outlet and were waiting in line to place their orders when an argument developed between him and another group of men. The altercation got physical, arising from which one of the men ran outside to a vehicle and returned with a firearm. He shot Mr. Sims in the chest. The gunman and his friends escaped in a white Toyota Axia motor car. The wounded man was transported to hospital, where he died while undergoing treatment. Eyewitnesses reportedly captured the registration plate of the vehicle, and this assisted the cops in identifying the suspects. St. Catherine man caught inside shop with a bag full of stolen items charged. A man who was reportedly caught with a bag full of stolen items inside a shop he had broken into on Sunday, January 21, has been arrested and charged. Charged with shop breaking and larceny is 25-year-old Kevin Coleman of Tangerine Circle in Linstead, St. Catherine. Reports from the Linstead police are that about 9:10 p.m., Coleman broke into a shop on King Street in Linstead by using a crowbar to remove a section of the roof of the building and pried open the burglar bars to gain entry. The police were alerted by a caretaker who heard strange sounds inside the building. When the police arrived, Coleman was found inside the shop with a knapsack bag containing several stolen items. The stolen properties and the damage done are valued at $250,000, police said. He was arrested and subsequently charged. He is scheduled to appear before the St. Catherine Parish Court on Tuesday, January 30. Jam bar against the pressure in Silvera judge over barring media, but acknowledges reason should have been given for use of discretion. The Jamaica Bar Association has reacted to public outcry over last week's barring of media from the initial court appearance in the murder case of former Member of Parliament Julian Silvera. In separate statements, the Press Association of Jamaica and the Media Association of Jamaica Limited called for the judge in the case to either explain the rationale behind the use of discretion to bar the media from witnessing the proceedings or to reverse the decision. In a statement on Sunday night through attorney-at-law Tamika Harris, who chairs Jam Bar's Criminal Law Committee, the committee said it agreed that reasons for barring the media should have been provided, but that it could not agree with any attempt to publicly pressure the judiciary to immediately reverse any decision. How a misdiagnosis nearly killed opposition Senator Lambert Brown. In an unprecedented public revelation, opposition Senator Lambert Brown on Friday shared details of a medical scare that brought him to death's door last September and used his contribution to the State of the Nation debate in the Upper House to talk about the shortcomings in Jamaica's healthcare system, in particular, a lack of beds. But for the intervention of his daughter and the two of his colleague opposition senators who shared his medical records with a doctor behind my back, Brown admitted that he may not have been alive today. While he was not his usual firebrand self, the heavy-set Brown, looking several pounds lighter, used approximately half of his roughly 40-minute presentation to detail his frightening experience, which had the full attention of not just his fellow senators, but the parliamentary staff and, safe to say, people listening or watching the proceedings on television or via the internet. About 4 minutes into his speech, Brown told the presiding officer, Senator Tom Tavares Finson, "Mr. President, allow me in this presentation to be a little personal." He began by sharing that on September 18, 2023, he underwent a major operation and was hospitalized for 2 weeks. "Since then, I'm slowly recovering, and hopefully one day I'll be back to full strength," Brown said, adding that he owed more than a debt of gratitude to some people for the role they played in my presence here today. "I came pretty close to not seeing you guys at my funeral," Brown said pointedly, with the chamber going silent as he paused for effect, before explaining that a misdiagnosis almost sent him to an early grave. The doctors missed the fact that my appendix had ruptured, and it had been so for more than a week, and the negative effect of that had begun to set in, Brown shared. In a telling demonstration that he had still not regained his strength, Brown leaned on the lectern at intervals for support as he gave his uncharacteristically short presentation. His speech was punctuated with gratitude to the many individuals, among them his daughter and the senators Donna Scott Maudsley and Sophia Fraser-Binns, whose timely intervention ensured he did not meet the Grim Reaper ahead of time. He thanked them for conspiring, he later said, for collaborating with his daughter behind my stubbornness to have Dr. James Jeffley Bird, who's the husband of Senator Fraser-Binns, review my medical records after I was told I needed to be admitted to the hospital, but there was no bed available, he said. Not because I didn't have money to pay for a bed. There was no bed available in the private hospitals, and the only place that would take me was the University Hospital of the West Indies, he shared. They took me in the Tuesday about 1 a.m. and they discharged me by 6 a.m. Wednesday. I thought I was fine. I went home, struggling but home and happy. Brown explained to the news later that he had started feeling ill more than a week prior to being hospitalized, gripped by pain in his abdomen, diarrhea, vomiting, and weakness. In his address on Friday, the senator explained that while at home on Sunday, September 17, the day of the PNP's annual conference, he got a call from Fraser-Binns' number. I said, "Are you at the conference already?" But the person on the phone said, "No, Lammy, this is not Sophia, this is Jeff, Fraser-Binns' husband." He said, "Lammy, I have looked at your records and you should not be at home. You need to be in the hospital now." Brown shared that Dr. Liberd told him that he had made arrangements for him to have a bed and he should go immediately to Andrews Memorial Hospital. "I am alive today, thanks to him and his intervention," Brown said to applause from both sides of the chamber. He expressed thanks to Dr. Baker for facilitating the hospital admission. The senator showed some emotion when he talked about the lead surgeon who operated on him, Dr. Lucien Tomlinson. He said that after being admitted to Andrews Memorial Hospital on September 17, Dr. Tomlinson walked into his room on the 18th and asked him if he had got the news. I said, "What news, doc?" And he said, "I just looked at your CT scan and you need immediate surgery." This was at 5:30 p.m., a mere hour after the CT scan had been done. Dr. Tomlinson told him they were going in at 7:30. That's how urgent it was, but the team ran into problems as Dr. Tomlinson's deputy, the anesthesiologist, was out at a dinner with his wife on her birthday. The deputy, however, cut the birthday celebration short and arrived at the hospital. The anesthesiologist looked me in the face and said, "You must be important, why I have to leave dinner and come here," Brown recalled. "I don't know that I could be important on the gurney, but I knew they were going in," Brown told his colleagues. A significant portion of his presentation was dedicated to just saying thanks to Dr. Tomlinson and his team the management and staff at Andrews Memorial, and the nurses who treated me, the nurses who did some personal things that I couldn't do for myself. Brown also thanked the technical team, those who administered the CT scans, ultrasound and x-rays, the auxiliary staff, the porters, his physiotherapist, who he jokingly referred to as a physio-terrorist, Dr. Savian Francis, for the tremendous work in restoring strength to muscles that had fallen. He expressed thanks to his Senate colleagues for being there during his most difficult hours with prayers, visits, and kind words. The Minister of Finance, Dr. Nigel Clark, sent me a lovely bouquet. Government Senator Ransford Braham came and he prayed with me. Government Senator Cavan Gale was also in touch, as well as Matthew Samuda and others, he said. He used the opportunity to assure the public that despite the vigorous debates on the Senate floor, which some people may take personally, they are friends who get along with each other. He singled out the leader of government business, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, with whom he has had a testy relationship over the years, stating, "Minister, I will not share with them our love letters." The comment elicited laughter, including from Johnson-Smith. Brown also thanked his family and the friends who were there with him for every moment of his illness, and his colleagues in the University and Allied Workers Union. He pledged to become a strong advocate for ending the practice of turning patients away from hospitals because there's no bed. "I'm not blaming the government on one side or another. The reality is all of us have left our people short, not because resources aren't available, but our vision did not take into account the fact that every man and woman in this country who pay taxes and their family shouldn't be turned away," he said. He noted that even during his illness, he had to reach out to Senator Samuda to intervene in assisting his niece, who had had a stroke and was at the Savannah Lamar Hospital for 3 days on the tough bench because there were no beds available. He concluded by telling his colleagues, "I got my flowers while I could still smell them. I heard the glowing tributes while I was alive. My day will come to depart, but it has not yet come." Additionally, Brown hinted that he is near the end of his political career, noting that this is likely to be my penultimate or very well my ultimate State of the Nation presentation. "I am conscious that age and health have put me in the winter of my public service, so I am ready to move on whenever that time comes for me to move on," he said, but quickly advised that he does not want the news headlines to say he has retired.